Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jonie with Point Blank Music School, and today we are going to be opening up Universal Audio's brand new software, Luna, their first ever DAW, and we're going to be creating a song from scratch for the Luna Challenge. And through that, we're going to be looking at some of the awesome features that they've packed in here and some of the new virtual instruments that I'm really excited about. So let's just hop into the software and see what we can come up with. All right, so we are now looking at the first screen when you open Luna, and there's a few helpful little resources here to get you started. Let's just go ahead and create a new project, and we'll just call this Luna Grooves. Create. Here we are in just the basic workstation. We've got kind of our transport window here, our main work surface here. Let's make a track. And we'll just start with a new instrument track and maybe lay down some chords. So it opened up our shape plugin here. Cool, and it gives us a little piano sound. Now I know if we click into this window here, it's gonna pull up some of our options. It looks like we've got a little Mellotron piano. That's kind of fun. House piano. Very bright, I like that. I want to start with what I believe is the Rhodes. Yeah, I really like that sound. We're gonna roll with that. And I'm gonna go ahead and dial in my BPM to 112. So if we want to have a count in for recording in our session, you can hold down the Option key and then press where you want that recording to start, or at least your count in to start. And then we'll have just a bar count in here. Let's lay down some chords and see what we come up with. I think that will be a good chord progression to build off of for our song. Let's just go in here and name this our Rhodes track. And then let's add a little bit of rhythm. Let's go ahead and get some drums in here. To create a new track, the shortcut is Command-Shift-N. To ask you if you want to do an audio track, an instrument track, or bus, I'm going to say instrument track, and we're going to open that shape plugin again. Click OK. Let's name this kick. And I'm feeling like I want to do just a 4 on the floor. And let's look at this 808 kit and just kind of see. Cool. Kind of like that kick. Let's just go ahead and lay something down. So it kind of looped it there for us, but I think that was pretty good overall. I think I want to go ahead and quantize that as well. And so we'll just do a quarter note here. I'm going to go ahead and just crank this all the way up to like 95-ish. Cool. Let's see if we can get a clap in here. So we've got that clap there. I think I like that as like a more organic clap. And let's see if we want to keep that loose or leave it unquantized. Another tip here, if you want to turn off the pre-roll, you can use the shortcut Command-K, and that will just play it from the point which you started. Okay, so now we have a little foundation going here. Let's see if we want to add maybe some organic percussion, if we want to record something in. So let's create a new track, and this time we'll do an audio track, and let's do a little shaker. And so I have my Apollo Twin here, and I have an SM7B. Cool. So I have my shaker here, and let's actually see if we can put on a unison plugin to use. Maybe the 610B. Might even turn up the level just a little bit here too. Cool, I went a little bit over because I wanted to make sure I could loop that. Let's go ahead and add another percussion track. Let's do some cowbell. Every track needs some cowbell. Let me turn my click on. Kind of got a nice little funk to it. Cool, this is starting to become a pretty cool loop. I'm gonna see if I can pull in a good snare sample. That sounds pretty good to me. Let's just duplicate this on the 2 and 4. Awesome. This is a pretty quick workflow. Now let's say with that shaker, I wasn't really into the kind of human feel of it. We could go into this view section here and click on clips, and then you can go to warps. And if you wanted to, you could play around with all of these and really make this thing as tight as you want it to be. But for now, I like the way it feels. We'll keep it as it is. So I like how those drums feel. Let's just drag in a kick sample to kind of embellish that kick. Something that's a little bit fatter. I'm gonna go back into my sample library here. Something that I work with a lot. I'm gonna drag this in. Let's zoom in and take a look at that. Just make a little loop here. Yeah, it's tight. Let's go through and just kind of organize our drums a little bit. So I'm going to select this kick track here. I'm going to go all the way down to this track. I'm going to click on the little bar here on the side of the track. I'm going to select, I like my drums to be red. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and create a little drum bus for us. So we're going to do Command-Shift-New to create a new track. We're going to go to this type here and we're going to click bus, and I'm just going to name this drums. And this is where we can get into some of our Neve summing features. It's a really cool feature that they built into this. And here's where we can change our views a little bit. If you go into this top menu here, right now we're on the timeline display, but you can also go into the mixer section here. You've got your inserts, but we also have our sends. So let's go ahead and select all of our drum tracks here. And then we're going to click on sends, and I'm going to send this into our drum bus. So that's kind of cool. We'll play around with that a little bit more later. So now that we've got some basic drums in place, let's go ahead and lay down some bass. And for that, I am going to open up a new track with their Minimoog plugin. This is one of the features that I was really excited about when I heard that Universal Audio was coming out with their DAW, to see what virtual instruments they would pack in there. Universal Audio is known for being very meticulous about any software integration that they put into their products, and they did not skip out on any features here. So this is our work surface for the Minimoog. It looks exactly like how a real Minimoog would look. So when you click on this presets button in a plugin window, it'll pull up the presets window on the side here and see if we can find something that we want. So, ooh, I like that. That's super fat. Let me turn on my click first. Here we go. I love that Moog so freaking much. That sounds so cool. Let's go in and just play with some of the features and really dial in our sound here. I love that. So let's see if we can layer on a real bass guitar on top of that. And let's go through our Ampeg. Little unison plug-in here. And I will plug in my bass and be right back. Awesome. So I've got my Fender Precision bass here. And let's just dial in a sound that we can play through. Cool. Cool, I like that. We will keep that in. I like to make my bass orange. And you know what? Let's go ahead and create a new bus for our bass guitars too. And we'll name this bass bus so we don't get confused. Make it orange. We'll go back into our mixer window. We'll select these two. We'll send these to our bass bus here on the side. This Neve summing really gives a nice subtle low end. I think the next step is maybe adding a lead down. And let's go ahead and create a new track. Let's take a look at the Ravel or Revel, this beautiful grand piano plugin here. Has a nice lush sound to it, but I know there's a few more options that we can get out of this as well. If we open up these presets, we have a few different options to play around with. Some of the hits that I did there were maybe a little bit too hard, and so to open up our MIDI CC values, we can just click this button here, and you can find that by pressing E, or if you hit it here, it'll just pop up in your timeline. But let's open it up, let's make it a little bit bigger, and let's take a look. And I think I want to just select some of these and just take them all down. There we go. Cool, so we've got a little piano part going there. Let's go ahead and add a little lead synth. The Mini Moog will do good for this. So we will open up that. Looks like we've got a preset called Dre Me. That's Dr. Dre. I think I have a basic idea in mind. We might change this later on, but let's go ahead and lay this down and see if it's something we want to work with. Cool. Let's go into that Moog and just kind of make this preset our own. Awesome. So that is sounding good to me. Okay, so now that we have a few of these pieces in place, let's go ahead and start giving this track a little bit more of an arrangement than just a loop. So I think I want this song to start off with this Rhodes and maybe this piano here. So I'm going to hold down Option and drag these so I can drag over a duplicate from there. And then we're going to add in some of those drums. So let's just take from our section here, let's get a kick. Okay, so we're going to hold down Option, start that section here. I'm going to get rid of this one, and now we have So we have a little kick intro. Maybe we can add in our clap as well. Let's go ahead and bring in our other kicks too. So got that kick in place. We will just duplicate a little loop-de-loo. I think on that last hit, I want there to be a little transition. So I'll take out these kicks here. And then we will bring back all of the elements back into the track. Just a little bit short. There we go. So I think in this second repeat here at the very end, I want to add maybe another hi-hat or something to give it a little bit more energy. And let's open up that classic 909 and set my record enable. I'm going to go ahead and just make this eighth notes 100%. So now that we've got that going, I think we could maybe add some transitional effects. Things like risers, impacts, any little robot sounds we want to add in here. And let's open up that mini mode again. And we're just gonna take a look and see what kind of little special effects they might have. Let's see, UFO landing sounds cool. Oh, that's cool. Turn my click on. Awesome. I think that's really cool. Now let's go into our roads. Now that I hear things kind of popping in, I want to see if I can add maybe another layer into our roads track. So let's go back up into this shape. And here in shape, you can add in additional layers for synths, keys, anything you want to do. So let's just see if there's like maybe a good subtle pad that we could add just in the background here. I like that. It gives it a little bit of sustain to that Rhodes. One thing I think I want to do is to maybe add a drum top loop on this last section here. And let's go into my sample library and see if there's something we can find. And this is from the Oliver pack on Splice. This particular loop is in 111 BPM, which is pretty close to our 112 BPM, but not exactly on the money. So what we can do here is we can go into this view section again and open up warps. And from here, we can just nudge this over just a little bit so it fits within our time. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Yeah, I think that will work perfectly in our song. So let's go ahead. I want to duplicate that out to the second section there too. Let's go ahead and make this red and add it to our drum bus. So I think that is starting to sound really good. And I think we are about ready to get mixing, which we will do in this next section here. So I'm going to select my biggest section here and I'm going to make that a loop. And then I'm going to go through and just solo each item, starting with the kicks. And let's go into our mixer view here. Awesome. I like where those drums are sitting. I'm going to pull everything down just a little bit so that way we have a little bit more headroom as we start to add things back in. Let's add our bass in here. Awesome. So I basically wanted to get levels set before we start adding in any effects and any embellishment. So let's go ahead and go into our mixer section here, and let's add in a reverb bus. And we're going to do that the same way we add tracks, just doing Command-Shift-N. But the only different part is we're going to go to this type here, and we're going to go to bus. And let's go ahead and name this reverb. So that builds this over to the side here. And then from here, we can choose our insert section and go up, and let's look at what we have in terms of reverb to play around with. Looks like we've got precision reflection engine. Let's go ahead and start with that. Let's open up our presets here. Let's start with large club just to see what that sounds like. Let's send our lead here. That's kind of a nice little like roomy sound to it. Okay, now that we're sending a few things to reverb, let's go ahead and start gluing things together. And one great way to do that is by sending a few things to tape. And so if you see the section here right above the inserts, they give you a master tape section and then this tape section where you can send a few elements to these tape machine configurations that they have. So let's open up Oxide and just see what that looks like. I've got this on one of my kicks here. I really like that. I'm a big fan of just like subtle saturation, especially on drums, and I think this will really make things come to life. Okay, so now that we have our mix about where we want it to be, we can go ahead and export. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select to the end here and just add in a little tail for things to fade out, and then I'm going to go up here to File, Export, Mixdown. And I've got my mixdown settings here. We'll go ahead and just stick with everything they have here. And then click mixdown. And from there, it'll just export my session and we will have a song. Okay, that is it. My final thoughts on Luna after working with it for a few days is it's a really cool interface. It's very intuitive. I was able to jump in and not have too steep of a learning curve. And so I think people coming from any other DAW will find that they're able to just jump in, start creating, and really take advantage of some of the benefits that Universal Audio has built into their hardware-software integration. I found that it was really useful to be able to offload a lot of the DSP onto my Apollo Twin here, and to be able to load up multiple instances of plugins and not really miss a beat. So go check out Luna. Again, my name is Jonie with Point Blank Music School, and I hope you found this entertaining and informative. And until next time, peace.